Good evening, gamers, and welcome to tonight's CF1 broadcast. I am one half of your casting duo for the night. I go by Speezy24, and joining me for tonight's matchup, the one, the only, Steitel. It's been far too long. How you doing tonight?
It's been too far and far too long, if we're being honest. You know, pandemic situations aside, I'm sure we would have met at some place, somehow, way by now. But I'm super excited for tonight's match. You know, it's round 9, so, you know, the teams that we've got going, UW Gold and RU Shorty Kings, they're tied for second place. They've already got their way into split 2, so I'm expecting them to really come with the heavy-hitting, kind of knock you off your seats kind of compositions and plays today. But let's take a quick look at the entire standings for that East region. And as you can see, RU Shorty Kings and UW Gold sitting in that second place pretty comfortably. And the only team that they've lost to is that first place spot, the Miami Redhawks.
Yeah, the Redhawks have looked solid all split long, and the Shorty Kings, they have a special place in my heart. They were part of my first CF1 broadcast, so, you know, as much as I hate to root for a team tonight, I think the Shorty Kings have some, they have a little stake in the game, if you will. But, Steitel, I know we have a special incentive tonight. Why don't you go ahead and tell our viewers about that?
So, special incentive for tonight, if you follow me on Twitter, you will have seen this, as well as, you know, I think CF1 retweeted it at some point. But I'm putting all my money on UW Gold, and you know what? I'm so confident that if UW Gold doesn't take the win, I'm eating one of these bad boys. The Carolina Reaper. On stream, yeah, at the end of the stream after our interview, because I have a feeling that once I eat that, I'm pretty much going to be garbage to anything.
I think we should do it during the interview. That might be that's my suggestion. That way we get to see how much worse it gets progressively throughout the interview. But speaking of some things maybe getting better.
Last question. Last question.
Well, the other thing we want to mention tonight, too, are the current power rankings. If production can go ahead and bring up that slide. Every conference is jumbled in together. The power ranking graphics have been updated. Let's take a look here. Beanies with a lot of movement in that power rankings. Hey, Kiernan's done pretty strong so far, I have to say. I'm not going to lie to you. Scotty's the one we got to worry about.
I don't know. I think he nailed Miami. I have a feeling Miami's in those top 3. So I'm pretty confident there. The only big one that I don't necessarily agree with as far as Scotty goes is WGA is a little low for me.
And San Jose State is way too low for me. They have shown that West region is a monster region, and they're at the top of it. So I'm very curious to see, once we get into non-regional play in the playoffs, I want to see what damage San Jose State can do. But you know, Steitel, we see Ryerson University on Scotty's and on Beanies. Kiernan has them missing, so it's an interesting choice. But I think they deserve their respect. They deserve their props. But again, Waterloo, they're 7-1 as well in the same exact region. So if you put Ryerson up there, you have to have that conversation about Waterloo possibly squeezing themselves in there, maybe at a 10, at a 9 as well. So they're going to have a point to prove, and I'd be shocked if they don't come out hot and feeling just a little bit disrespected with that chip on their shoulder because of these power rankings.
I agree, and you know, I think a big part that factors into where RU stands and UW just isn't in there is that game against Miami that these two guys had. I mean, RU takes Miami to a full 3-map game. They win the first map pretty handedly with a 13-5, lose the second map pretty handedly as well as on the flip side of the coin, but then they take them to triple overtime in the third. So they've obviously shown that when it comes to facing Miami, yes, they lost, but the scoreline was pretty close across the whole game. Whereas Waterloo, 7-13 in the first game, 10-13 in the second. Yeah, they got a little bit of momentum going towards the end, but out the gate, they just weren't really there to put up a defense against Miami. So I think that's why you're starting to see the Shorty Kings in the power rankings and not UW Gold as much.
Absolutely. I have to agree with that. And I mean, again, like we said, there isn't a whole lot on the line tonight when it comes towards making it into split 2. Neither of these teams are facing relegation. They're both locked in moving forward, but there is that bragging rights. And if you're Ryerson, do you maybe take your foot off the pedal a bit, try some different things. You know, we've seen Game Changers, the VCT Game Changers event this past weekend. We saw the Astra, we saw the Viper. Is that something that they possibly bring out here, or are they going to play this straightforward and standard? And so far, it looks like it's going to be a straightforward and standard comp.
Yeah, first game of the go-ahead, you know, this is... The fun way to say it is that this game is for bragging rights. But really, when you're going into Split 2, this is a match for the mental game. This is a match where you've only lost to the top in the conference, you know, in your group. So you're still feeling pretty good about yourself and how well you stack up against that kind of section of teams. But if you look across the groups, there's a lot of other teams that have 7-1 records. So coming out of the final stage, only losing one map, kind of puts you on a leg up on the mental state of how comfortable do we feel in our current play, and how intimidated are we with what we have to face.
Absolutely. And I mean, you talk about these teams being practiced and being dialed in. That short agent select shows me that they know exactly what they want to do and the exact style that they want to play. I mean, the player for me to watch out for on the side of Ryerson University, who is going to be on attack first, is going to be Shade J on that jet. We've seen Jay do some just downright dirty things, and timer ticks down to 0. We are off and running. This is going to be a spicy stack here towards middle, and that's the name of the game. Whenever you play Ascent, establish a mid presence early and establish that mid presence often.
I love the slow play right now coming out of UW Gold. They've gotten a little bit of information about where it's going to go, but they're not quite sure, so they're keeping mid and B control. But the action's going to set off here at A.
Does a little bit of damage, and that's going to be a quick spike plant for Ryerson University. UW Gold has plenty of utility on this retake. Toph still with 3 cloud bursts. Vex tries to get their way into tree, and that's 4 members strong into tree. Interesting decision here. Don't know if they're going to go for a 4-man flank or what, but that's an odd one. Jay hears that knife, knows the door's about to be broken, and the fight is about to be off. Steidel, this is going to get dirty.
Getting dirty quick. 2 quick trades, but Top coming out on top. SHORTYKINGS still able to keep themselves in a good position, but they're down by 1. But UW Gold quickly deteriorating at the end there. And, you know, I liked what UW Gold did at the initial part of that retake, where they checked out on the catwalk to make sure that there wasn't anybody from SHORTYKINGS that could punish them kind of sitting in that room while they opened up the door. But when you find out there's nobody there, send someone around. Get a little bit of an extra angle in there if you can. You know they're going to be sitting there at A long. You know they have presence on point. So the most pressure that you can apply is going to be coming from different angles.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't send anyone on the flank. It got a bit predictable, if you will, as much as I hate to say that in round 1. But anytime you do that, it's tough to win from that situation. But we're going to see them, I believe Ryerson University invested fully. I thought I saw a Phantom in someone's hands. I wasn't too sure who that was, but that could be devastating. Isn't it? Nope, it is going to be a Spectre in the hands of Shade J. There's the Phantom. Sincere. Bold decision. If they lose, if Sincere gets picked, this could have huge implications for UW Gold. Because if they win this round, obviously next round regardless, is going to be their bye round. Everybody's on classics here, no one with shields, but Sincere going to possibly hand over a 2,900 credit gift. It's not Christmas just yet, but it could be for UW Gold.
SHORTYKINGS right now are really winning on this information game, but a bad play by Alden's going to lead to a quick kill by Toph, and Gold's going to be able to get a little bit of an upper hand here on the defense. SHORTYKINGS going to get a little bit of an upper hand here on the offense. And you really got to be careful about those early picks. This time, however, UW Gold, they do have somebody here on the flank going into A lobby, or A long.
And this could be dangerous if Alden lets this drone go. Rodzi on that flank could have been there while they were stuck in the drone, but the dark cover is going to go out to protect them, and Sincere making that Phantom go to work, trying to be the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. Damo's got a shorty, just looking to get some sort of exit gift, and not found. Jay takes down Damo. Rodzi, it's only a matter of time. You got nothing else to lose. Oh, and Alden. Nice and easy cleanup crew. 4 players stay alive for Ryerson. So this bonus round, oh, I spoke a little bit too soon, Steitel. 3 players stay alive.
That's all right. Jay's he's not too angry about that. Probably would have liked to have kept that Spectre, but the team-wise economy isn't going to be hit too hard. UW Gold, however, this is a big round for them. You know, in every game you play, if you go down 2 rounds early on, the 3rd round is your big rebound. Especially if you're able to kind of to mess around the economy. Are you SHORTYKINGS with a very mixed buy? And Vex is in a little bit of trouble, but information given, the rotation called. Killjoy set up completely over there on A, so the rest of Gold going to be able to commit to this. Vex getting a good kill onto Jay.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jay already had the Blade Storm, but doesn't matter. Wody, Light going to work, finds 3 and shows them the Light. Steitel, does Light have the Riot gun buddy on their weapon? Yes, they do. Oh, we have to ask Light about that one. That's a very exclusive gun buddy.
Well, I feel like the gun buddies are kind of like Overwatch skins. You know, if you're playing Overwatch and you put on a San Francisco Shock skin, you obviously play better. So,
I mean,
good for him to think about that.
I think you have to know someone. I think you got to know someone to get that skin, that gun charm. But regardless, UW Gold, they are going to get their first round on the board. And I have to say, I like their showing right there. They knew as soon as that hit came into B, back off, play with your team. No one has to be the hero and hold that angle. So very well done. And UW Gold, they answer right away. So not letting Ryerson get too big for their bridges just yet. And someone gets tagged down bottom middle there. Jay playing contact. This could be very, very dangerous if Jay gets a little too excited or too antsy. Their team's behind. Phoenix going to lead the way. Curveball goes out. Kuhai finds one. Kuhai finds a second one. Wasting no time. But Light trying to stop that. Going to pop Sincere with the Hunter's Fury. And I think they were looking for the body of Kuhai. Not found, but Vex's ult gets popped immediately. Damo doesn't do anything about that recon dart, and Alden's going to make them pay. Jay sitting in prime position here, up in heaven. Vex, are they going to check the corner? No, they are not, but spray through the walls. Jay tailwinds out of there and leaves Light in the darkness. Kuhai spots him, going to give that call out. Shock Dart goes out, don't care. 64 HP, Kuhai with a 3K and a round to give Ryerson their 3rd.
And I really like the way that UW is approaching this right now, where they're setting up the Killjoy as well as the majority of their members over on A and just leaving that Phoenix on B to gather information about potential pushes. However, I would have liked to have seen Vex get a little bit more utility out of that run it back. Just kind of walked into that smoke willy-nilly. Wasn't being quiet about it. Was easily figured out and taken out of the equation. So you don't you don't really get any information from that. You're still in the smoke. You figure out the Jet's there, but the smoke was there, so you know the Jet's around.
Gotta be somewhere. And a great dart from Kuhai. That one usually rebounds and lands on the floor. So trying some different tech. I think the shoulder's going to get spotted, but look at this play from Jay. Jay has gained so much space that if anyone from UW Gold tries to rotate through spawn, they are dead to rights.
And that's 101 about playing on Ascent. Mid control is so vital.
But he doesn't. They don't check Cubby.
Oh no!
What the?
There's an easy
Almost
one.
missed.
Oh no! It's the second. Light is able to find one, but an easy trade. 1 for 1 for 1 for 1, and 2 members left for UW Gold.
1 for 1 for 1 for 1. That was talent, Steitel. I like that one. Sincere's gonna go ahead and get that spike planted, and the Bucky boys coming out, very similar to the Bash brothers. Rodzi trying to get this one done with their partner and Crime. I believe that's gonna be Damo, if I'm not mistaken, on that Omen.
Oh, that's big. Alden didn't figure out that the Omen was going on the flank.
Yeah, no idea, but are they going to go for this, or are they just going to play for exits? Their economy isn't in a terrible spot, and it's got to be an exit call. You trap them in here, make them lose those 3,900 credits for the weapons and the armor. Excuse me.
There it is.
Oh, Rodzi. Oh, the two-piece, no biscuit. Can Rodzi add a side of gravy? Yes, they can. It's not the round, but they'll take it. Rodzi closes that round out and makes Ryerson pay literally and now figuratively moving into this next round.
What a twofer. I mean, I've watched my fair share of YouTube videos about why the Bucky is overpowered and ways to use it, but what a great way to do so. Able to put the spread. And if you look, there was a slight jitter before he takes this second shot. Right there, where he has to make the decision about whether or not he wants to use the slug to take out the Omen or commit that spread shot. Commits the spread shot and lands most of the pellets onto the Killjoy, so gets both. Beautiful play.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Radzi was in the air for that shot. But speaking of being in the air, Toph gonna take Alden, put him in the big house in the sky. Jay's done this play before and snaps onto the face of Damo, just deletes them right out of the server. And this is what we've seen from Damo, or excuse me, from Jay time and time again, just taking this mid control. Last time we saw him push market, are they going to do the same thing? Yes, they are, but not spotted out by that recon drone. So as far as UW's gold is concerned, there's only one player in market. There's no way. Are you kidding me, Vex?
Oh, no way! Light grabs a big headshot. Through the smoke, able to even the scales. Actually tilt the scales heavily in favor of UW Gold, and it's up to the operator. And Sincere to find something going here, knows the Jet sitting there in the side, now has information on the Killjoy, but it's a 1v3. This is a big task.
Yeah, TP out of there, save the operator, the big green gun, the boomstick. You need that one moving into next round. You're gonna go down. Yeah, that's a... might be a misplay from Sincere. I don't know. That's a free op to Toph now.
Yeah. And not only a free op, but, you're going to give that op to the Jet player. They've already got a decent economy as it goes. Toph's doing a pretty good job for UW Gold. And on top of that, coming out of this round, your team doesn't have economy. SHORTYKINGS haven't really been able to connect those dots right now. So they have to play a half buy or a save or some sort of in between. But up against an operator, that's really difficult to combat.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see where they'd send this operator. It looks like it's going to go A long as Jay. See, Steidel. If you talk about the big green gun, this is the little white gun. The Ion Sheriff is very similar to the Prime Vandal in that it gives you a boost whenever you have this skin equipped. Quote me on it. I've learned, I've done my own research. This is a thing. Jay's getting at least one here with this Ion Sheriff. I lied. Vex says absolutely none of that. Gets Kuhai as well. And Light just taking down Wody. Sincere gonna find a weapon. 2v4 up a creek without a paddle. I sincerely hope that the RU SHORTYKINGS can hold on to this one. They have plenty of utility. Gonna smoke off. Oh, Alden, no. Here's the footsteps. This is something that you don't see every day. Someone playing the lurk. There's no hope for Alden. But they do have the Hunter's Fury, and they don't have spray control. Light shutting down Alden, giving UW Gold their third round. And Steidel, back and forth we go. I mean, there's no real flow to this match for either team right now.
I feel like UW Gold's kind of finding that flow right now. They've kind of cemented Killjoy anchoring over on A, which realistically is, in my opinion, the most difficult of these two sites to retake. B, however, they're being smart. They've got somebody there to collect recon. And they have somebody they have the Phoenix who can throw in, Vex can throw in those flashes, which slows the push a little bit, and can get out quickly and heal themselves if they take any chip damage in the process. So you keep the heavy presence on A. If they push that way, you already have a good defense. Oh no. But if they push B,
Hunter's Fury.
You have the information.
Yeah, and Hunter's Fury, they're not going to find anyone, so an interesting choice. Kuhai, same thing. We saw them do this last time they had that run it back, but gets one. Sincere's going to take down Toph. Killjoy turret still doing a little bit of work there. As Vex, again, every time it seems like Kuhai pops that run it back. We're right here, another one. Vex pops theirs as well. So anything you can do, they can try and do a little bit better. Maybe not as great. I like this play from Sincere, getting aggressive, but Light punishing them. Kuhai, this flank is everything. Can they time this perfectly? There's one player in drone. Doesn't matter. Kuhai takes them down. Killjoy with the lockdown, 3v1. Rodzi takes one down, and Alden's gonna finalize it. SHORTYKINGS, just when we thought UW Gold was finding that flow, they answer right back.
Yeah, and they had the setup just right. They were a little hesitant on the call to get everybody over there. And you know, good read on the Omen teleport. You hear the teleport. The smoke is up there at heaven. There's really only one place that Omen's gonna go. So a nice read there, but you've got to be paying attention enough to hear that reload behind you. It's in enough vicinity that you can hear Kuhai cock that weapon, and you got to be able to respond to that.
And this Phoenix battle has been one to watch. I mean, Kuhai and Vex have both had their rounds. The Jet battle, Toph's winning that 100%. Just feel different as they take them down in middle. And Steidl, the Sovas from both of these teams have not gotten a great amount of use out of those run-it-backs tonight.
They haven't.
Or excuse me, out of the Hunter's Furies.
Yeah, as far as UW Gold goes, they're getting him so quickly that the proactive use of that running back is okay for me. It's extra information for the team, and it kind of gives you a little bit of an upper hand unless you can't hit your shots. In that case, Woody going to be taking a couple of easy kills, but 2v2, they know the rotation's happening because they've already cleared all of that back of B with that Hunter's Fury.
So they think. Damo, you know that From the Shadows is going off. It's only a matter of where did they actually teleport to. Well, that's there. Damo takes down Kuhai. Gonna Paranoia 1 and get the 4K onto Alden. Damo is dynamite tonight. What? How many frags does Damo have in this game? Only 4. That was... Wait, timeout. That's Damo's first 4 frags? He gets a 4K in round 9.
They've been controlling for the majority of this round, doing a really good job of supporting the team. And as far as entering into the engagements, it seems like they're kind of using Damo in some situations to where peek this corner and see who's there.
I mean, I guess so. Damo showing up huge when it matters. So, can UW Gold looks like the Shorty Kings are going to be on an eco round. Double shock darts come down. Doesn't tag anyone just yet. Vex knows there's a player there. Takes out Jay. And that's a big one. Blade Storm's down. They also invested in some light shields. Wody through the smoke? What?
What?
What was that?
That's a 1 in a million game shot right there.
Here.
If this wasn't Valorant, I mean, I would think Wody is... I mean, if you shut off the nameplates, Wody just became Nico from FaZe Clan. As I say that, Damo deletes them off the server. That was a god-tier shot. Can Alden do an impression of that? Possibly. If they time this right, though, all they have to do is win the battle against Rodzi on A, and they can get that spike down for the extra credits.
But do they know that Rodzi's on A? That's the question.
Oh, and Call of Duty timing strikes again. As soon as you look away, the player is there. Damo, first the 4K in the last round, now with a 3-piece. Just coming in when it matters most for UW Gold.
I mean, this is an absolute masterclass on how to read your opponent in the chess game that we've seen so far. You know, starts out Shorty King's really strong on A. UW Gold puts the default of the Killjoy over on A to try and combat that. So Shorty Kings goes B really strong. They put the Phoenix over there to put a slow to that. They start to exploit it over on A. They put a little bit of mid control into the mix. So really good job of both teams kind of getting into the mix and changing it up to combat what the opponent's bringing to the table.
Yeah, and the attacker Killjoy going to put out that lockdown, and it may just be a bait. Toph is getting antsy. There is still one player left in that cubby, if I'm not mistaken. Rodzi's going to see the cloudburst and call the rotation. Spots Jay. That's the only player they saw, so they don't know that this full rotation is there, but look who's on A site covering tree. It's going to be Damo. Not the player you want to run into at this moment in time, because Damo looks clean, and Alden's going to just give Toph a nice little haircut, little off the top. No, don't push the smokes. Spots through, don't push the smoke. Doesn't matter. Through the smoke, over the smoke. Damo can't miss right now.
And a beautiful job by Shorty Kings on the lurk from the Sova just to make sure that they could catch anybody in mid, because there's no way you tackle that off unless there's some sort of misdirection. But for Shorty Kings, this plant's going to come in. The rotations from Gold are going to be a little bit late. and there's no ultimates on board, so this is anybody's game. Sova Killjoy versus Sova Killjoy.
I love the mirror matchups. It's almost like when we play in fighting games. And look at that! What was that recon dart? It's gonna let them know there's one player in hell. Rodzi just deletes Wody. They know there's a player in hell. You have to play this one together. Light gets taken down, and Alden with the 2v1 clutch. Where did that go wrong for UW?
Wrong order of peaking. They had the Killjoy at a portion of health. They had their Sova full health on in heaven there. And if Rodzi had pushed first, drawn out where Alden was, then it would have opened up the opportunity for Light to take the full health battle against Alden, and hopefully Rodzi gets like a bullet or two in to kind of weaken that opponent. But because because Light poked first, Alden was able to deal with that threat and then take the low health battle against Rodzi, and that only took a single bullet, so you don't have to worry too much about spray control.
Yeah, and that's not something you want to see if you are a UW fan. But Toph taking down Shay J. That's the spike down as well. And that's in a decent position. That's going to be a tough one to retrieve for UW Gold.
Yeah, you go in with the Phoenix to kind of distract it, but you're only expecting one person on the site and there's multiple, so you kind of get tossed into the wrenches, if you will. But
Sincere just TP'd through that smoke.
Nobody knows.
Oh, you naughty armadillo. Oh! I thought he was going to whiff that. Gets the Vandal weapon upgrade indeed. Gonna from the shadows. Oh, fake from the shadows, so they think he's somewhere. Wody's going to use that turret just as a little bait and switch, try and draw out something. And Sincere on the rotation again. Did they spot the gun barrel that was there for a pixel? They have to get this right because Toph is on this angle with the boomstick. Toph's going to whiff, but Vex does not. Wody for the round, not going to do it. 6-6. We are tied up going into half, and Steidl, we expected nothing less. We knew these teams were in it, and neither wanted to give an inch. And so far, that's exactly what we've seen tonight.
Yeah, we knew this match was going to go the distance. It was just a matter of, was one team going to take it out the gate real quick, and that's not the case. I talked about the adaptation that these two teams have been able to display, and it's just continuing to do so. For me, now that you're at the half, these next two rounds are going to be critical to how you're able to progress through. And looking at the record, SHORTYKINGS, a little more effective on the pistol round on the attack last time around. If UW Gold isn't able to bring a bit of an upset to that kind of pattern, it's going to be a difficult second half.
It certainly is. As we see a couple ghosts, everybody on the if you don't have an upgraded pistol on UW Gold, it looks like they're rocking some shields, and that's a spot. Vex right click to the face. Riot says it's been fixed. That's a lie. Shay J still spraying through this smoke. Toph finds one. This is a 5v3 situation. UW Gold looking good. Like you said, the effectiveness they have on these pistol rounds so far is looking good, but Jay shuts it down. Tailwind's out of dodge, and that's the spike down. Decent retrieval. Toph's on the angle. But do they know there's a player close? Just walking into the crosshair. Great crosshair placement there from Toph, but Light with the frenzy from distance just makes Jay pay.
And I'm sad about that for SHORTYKINGS. That jet play is a 1 in a million chance where you're able to get a pick and then also get into the attacking spawn at an angle where if they're going to rotate on you, they have to expend a lot of time to do so. But nobody was paying attention to Toph sitting in that corner, and that easy trade was able to bring out enough attention to snag enough kills for UW Gold to kind of shut down that opportunistic play from Jay.
Yeah, and here we see the Sova drone going out. Toph, they have the Blast X Phantom. Vex has got their head. Vex just one-man wrecking crew right now as Ronzi's going to take down Kuhai. That's a clear sight. Sincere and Jay are going to be playing this on the retake. This is going to be a very difficult situation, but UW Gold doing their due diligence, clearing every single thing on this site before Spike gets planted.
And reading your opponent is one of the key elements of Valorant, and they noticed SHORTYKINGS likes to play a little bit slow. They like to gather their information and make sure they're okay to enter a site. The quick executes aren't something that SHORTYKINGS brings to the table unless they have to, and they're also not as effective against them. So good job on Gold to kind of read that exploit it and use that anti-eco to give them a little bit of momentum coming into this round.
Yeah, and Shiloh, you talk about the importance of the first 2 rounds of a new half. UW Gold able to take command and moving into this round. Now, this is the bonus round for UW Gold. If they can win this and upgrade these weapons, that is going to be all the world of a difference. As we're going to see Alden with that recon drone, sprays through the wall, does some decent damage. I think they tagged a couple of players. It looks like Ronzi may have taken a hit or 2, but they're creeping up on him. Yeah, they're creeping up. They're trying to get something done. Killjoy turret's going to spot one. Wody's not feeling the check right now. Beck's going to get spotted by this recon drone. So, Toph has been able to take a huge amount of space, and that's been the name of the game. But when it comes to Spectres versus Phantoms, it's not a fight you want to have at long range as Wody takes down Damo. Alden is on site defending for their life, and they take out Rodzi with 12 HP left. Toph trying to do some work, not able to do it. Wody and Jay find the final 2 frags of the round, and they find the weapons. That's huge. That's huge for Ryerson.
Hesitation from Waterloo there. They went for a sort of quick execute on B, sent somebody at mid because they didn't see any kind of contest for mid control except for this alarm bot that SHORTYKINGS have been leaving there, but they didn't fully commit to it and allowed SHORTYKINGS and Ryerson to really rotate properly and come into that situation with pretty much an equivalent matchup.
And now we'll see the even weaponry come out. Both teams should be rocking full Vandals or Phantoms. I don't think there's going to be a Zoom banger in the server just yet. And look at the positioning from Shay J. Playing up high with the teammate down low. Little hit him high, hit him low. Isn't that a Space Jam song, if I'm not mistaken? Right?
I believe,
hit
I
him
believe
high.
so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Space Jam references. New one coming soon. Make sure you check it out. It's going to be a good one. But you know what else is going to be a good one? This fight for Tree.
It's going to be a slow development, though. UW Gold's figured out there's nobody in mid. They don't want to commit to the B push, and they haven't got a lot of information that there's a lot of people over there, so that's why you're seeing this really slow approach. They're on long. Good trade, but SHORTYKINGS are pretty much set up for that situation, but Sincere gonna get caught out by that run it back, and that changes the tables. The scales have been tipped to UW Gold.
And the players that were on B for Ryerson were playing so far back into sight that this is quite the hefty rotation. Damo has a smoke. I'd be curious to see if that's going heaven. Yep. Light calls out there's a player in heaven. They broke window. That's exactly where that dart cover is going to go out. Alden with the recon dart. Not spotting anyone as UW Gold is playing this one extremely patient. And I like that change of pace from them. They're not worried about really anyone at the moment. They're playing the time and waiting despite its attempted defuse.
Yeah, this is an information game right now. That recon dart gets nobody, so you think, oh, there's maybe a couple long, there might be one hell, but you just can't contest with that because the sight lines are exactly opposite. If you turn to hell, you are at risk of getting taken down from that A-long position, and from A-long, you don't have to go for the bomb. You know your player in hell is going to get some damage done, and you have 2 players sitting at the ready at that entrance.
Yeah, and I have to say the change of pace there that UW Gold has brought, right? Ryerson, for the most part, was go, go, go on their attacking side. And UW Gold, they showed that speed in the first 2 rounds, but their fourth round of the second half, they played it slow. And I'm curious to see if we'll see this again from them as Alden again with this Odin spam, not able to find a tag. Damo takes out Jay, and Vex takes down the opposing Phoenix. So, 5v3 advantage. And they're not playing slow, right? That's RU is look at the positions where they died. They're pretty far up.
Yeah. And I feel like that's SHORTYKINGS trying to throw a little bit of a wrench into the works for UW Gold. They've been playing slow, so you change that pace up and you have the chance to kind of surprise your opponent. But the issue is that Gold has a really strong lurk when they push. You know, they if they're not making that immediate outburst, that immediate execute, then they're not playing at 100% speed. They're slowing it down a little bit to make sure that any kind of rotation or aggressive push gets punished. Because free kills in Valorant win rounds.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's the right call for Ryerson right now to back off, keep these weapons. I think Alden had an Odin, so that's a 3,200 credit weapon, as well as what did Wody have? Is Wody on? I think they had a Vandal. So decent weaponry that you want to hold on to moving into the next round. It's 10 rounds now on the board for UW Gold. They're going to find some frags here. Alden's going to take out Rodzi, so that's a decent bit of economic damage, but nothing to write home about. No one's going to care about that one. Look at the economy for UW Gold. It's not booming, but it's healthy.
Yeah, and it's second half territory, so there is not a reset for you in the future. There's no moment where if your economy gets out of hand, you're going to be able to kind of recoup from that. This is the second half. You have to be able to kind of keep that alive. And look at Toph right now, still showing the classic. Oh no, went ahead and got the Phantom.
There it is.
But UW Gold shouldn't have an issue this round.
Bladestorm. No, they certainly should not. As Kuhai is going to let them know there's one player down on this B site. And look at the aggression though from the Shorty Kings. This is what got them in trouble last round. It may pay off for them this time, as Alden with that. Hunter's Fury does a tag onto Toph, onto... Oh! That was the Bladestorm. That's dangerous. Damo. Oh, boy. Dude, Kuhai just whiffed 4 shots, not able to find one, but Wody, there it is, Kuhai. We knew it was hiding there somewhere. And, I mean, the sprays are just coming down fast and furious. Damo answers when Damo needs to, and they have from the shadows. If Damo wins this battle, grab the spike from the shadows, they are gone onto this A site. Spike's gonna get planted, but 3 HP and a dream. There's no way Damo's able to pull this off, right? This is the ace for Damo. I mean, I believe too.
For the sake of my
Trust in
buds,
Damo.
I believe.
Trust in Damo. 1v1. Damo Imano. Can Alden get it done? They have that recon dart in 4 seconds. Oh, this dart cover might show Alden where he's playing from. This is a tight angle. Nope, Alden's going to check this.
Maybe he did.
Alden's going to check this.
I thought he didn't see him for a second. I thought he didn't see him.
Oh, Steidel Damo could have been the hero, but Alden turns out to be the villain. I was with you. I didn't think he saw him, but oh, the BM jet spray. What were you doing in that corner? No one needs to play there. Steidel, if you'll indulge me for just a second, I think the dart cover from Damo is what tipped off Alden. You see the direction that that's coming from, and you know they have to be in the vicinity, but almost not checking the corner fully, that could have been bad.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and that is definitely one of the harder abilities to use without giving away your position. You map geography. It's pretty simple to figure out where that smoke came from because it has that directional look on it. But oh my God, Jay's waiting and willing.
Oh, and I like that peek from UW right there. Again, that hit him high, hit him low. I don't like that peek as Jet diff. Jay's gonna win that battle. Are they going to peek again for this? They do know there's a player on either side. There's one sitting Sabrosa, and there's one sitting right outside of Tiles. So, Damo looking to tag. All you have to do is sneeze on Jay at this point. I think Jay saw the gun barrel. He's going to hold this angle. Terrible crosshair placement, Jay. Just a little bit higher. You'll be on the head, but they know body shots. We take those. It's like the club. Cancun on spring break. Free body shots?
Maybe someone owes him money. He's looking for knee shots. Maybe someone owes him
looking
some
to be
money.
the hitman.
Yeah. Good recon dart, gonna give information on what's in mid. And just so you know at home, just because there's nobody there doesn't mean you didn't get information. Not knowing that somebody isn't there is just as important as knowing that somebody is. Jay, however, gonna get a little bit overzealous, getting over here into mid, understands that Gold by this point in the round has probably begun their rotation towards whatever side they want and abandoned mid.
Yeah, and this recon drone, you can hear this from the opposite side of the map. It feels like Alden's going to start that rotation early. The only problem here is if anyone backs out, they are backing out straight into the hands of Jay. Do they have a lineup for this? Lockdown doesn't detain anyone, and that's the go button. There are 8 seconds left for them to get the spike down. Spike starting to get planted. Ronzi spraying through the, or excuse me, Alden's going to spray through the smoke, try and tag one. Not going to find a thing. We're going to go fast. We're going to go furious. Steidel, are you with me? Engage casting, horse casting mode. As Vex going to get taken out by Sincere. Damo takes down two. Jay answers quickly in tree room with that zoom banger. Light has to have the angles right for this double shock dart. Alden going to get tagged by both in Light, but he got it halfway. Kuhai can stick this as Jay takes him down. I give credit to Light there. You trust your lineups. They knew what they were doing. Got the frag. So props to you, Light, but not able to take the round. RU Shorty Kings are answering back.
I really would have liked to have seen Light save that Hunter's Fury. Because it's a 3v2 there in trees, and you very quickly lose the advantage when that Omen smoke comes out. And then you lose both members there. So you commit that Hunter's Fury to try and get an exploit onto somebody who's in trees, but there's a lot of ways out of trees to where you can kind of maneuver yourself to get out of the way of that Hunter's Fury, whereas you save that Hunter's Fury, you get the double shock dart, and then you have that ultimate to continue to contest that defuse.
They certainly do, as Vex going to get tagged, just a little bit tickled on the toes by that shock dart there as that little piggy went to the market. Alden going to try and find something else with that one. Does a decent amount of damage with that shock dart, if I'm not mistaken, and no one checks Cubby. Wody tags one, dinks another. Alden gets their position revealed, doesn't care, takes down two. They know there's one more player there. They have spike control. Alden Sova dip. Light's going to win this one, and it's up to Jay with this operator. There's only one. Oh, both players are on site. Tries to do a little bit of skeet shooting, doesn't find the frag. Little do they know that all they have to do is tag Light with one shot from the classic. Doesn't matter. That's a ding. Gets the kill onto Light. Pulls out the zoom banger again. No, stop it. Barrel stuff. Not
doesn't land it.
Is tough. That could have been detrimental if they hit that shot. That's a huge momentum swing if that shot lands, but now Toph has the zoom banger. 12, 14, and 8. It's not every day we see a Jet with 18 assists.
Yeah, usually the Jet's on the top of that leaderboard, you know, with the fraggers. It's also not often that you see the Sovas being the ones that are the big fraggers. Those information gathering agents often kind of left into the backline and not into that initial fray, but this is obviously two teams that are not estranged to throwing an extra kind of fun thing into the mix, but Toph is ready for this.
They certainly are. As Alden takes out Rodzi early, Jay's just going to switch positions on this one. I don't know if they know he's in that
There's
corner.
no one in trees. There's no one in trees.
No one in tree. That's a free sight. Kuhai, or excuse me, Vex going to have plenty of room to work with on this rotation.
Sorry, bro.
Takes down Alden. They know there's one more there. Gonna break window. All right. Jay takes down one. All right, so 2v2 situation. We've seen both of these teams thrive in these. It's been back and forth. So Spike's gonna get planted down default. Killjoy in Phoenix versus Sova in Phoenix.
They're looking for the push through heaven.
Player standing.
That's big.
You never expect Wody to come from this spot, especially after their teammate just peeked this. Misses a shot, but able to take down Vex. They have to find the second player immediately. There's not a ton of time left. Gonna get that reload, and Light is just patiently waiting in wine like a fine-aged barrel. Gets it done and secures map point for UW Gold.
And that was a really beautiful play. I got a little bit worried when they both went A long, and you saw the members of Shorty Kings also playing that same bit, but a beautiful job to stay there over in Wine Cellar, and beautifully timed push. If it's a 2v2, I'm not expecting both members of the opposing team to be on A long. I'm expecting them to split sidelines. So you take that reload because you're looking to walk through A long and then contest when it comes to the choke, but beautiful timing there coming out of UW Gold.
Certainly was, and look at the ultimate economy. You got 3 for the side of UW Gold. Run it back from the shadows and a Hunter's Fury. If this spike can go down, they just have to play off site. That from the shadows with the spike is going to go into back boathouse. Vex checks Cubby, but gets blasted immediately.
Oh!
Wodie's going to take down Rodzi and Toph. So 4v3 situation in favor of the Shorty Kings. Rodzi only has a sliver of HP left. So it is the man advantage, but I don't know how much Rodzi's going to be able to, or excuse me, Wodie is going to be able to get done. The fake TP comes out. Jay going to look to get something done with this operator. Gets one. That's going to be Vex through the wall. Light takes down Alden. And Damo answers with 2 huge frags. We talked about the low HP onto Wodie 5 seconds ago, Steitel. 10 HP and the map on the line. This
Why
is
do that?
big.
Why contest a contested site when you know A is sitting over there for free 99? Go pick that up. It's a great deal.
Hey, if it's free, it's phone me. And it's also for UW Gold. As Spike gets planted, they know, they have to know that Wodie is low. But they do have lockdown. You have to go for this.
You just don't have the extra room to rotate. You're 10 health. A lurk at any corner finishes you there. So
a lurk, even just a tickle between the toes, you know, little toe jam and Earl, that'll take you down. So, I mean, quality win from UW Gold. I really wanted to see you eat this ghost pepper.
I mean, it's not over yet, and that was 13-9. And might I remind you that Shorty Kings do have a good record of bringing it back and really testing who they play. So it's definitely not over here. However, I think that the combination of Light and Damo right now have been a little bit much for the Shorty Kings because UW is doing a really good job of adapting, and those two players are the ones kind of A, gathering the information to allow their team to do said adapting, and B, just being in unexpected places to find big picks. We started that round to the point where I think it wasn't until like the 4th or 5th round that Damo even got on the leaderboard. And they go on to this defense, and now you're into a situation where is Damo on A? Is Damo on B? Is he in the corner on Catwalk? Is he in Wine Cellar? Like, where is this Omen? But they also don't have to worry about where the enemy team is. Light doing a great job on some pretty stellar recon darts. The shock darts at the beginning of the round to give you an explicit advantage off the bat. Doing a really good job of using that kit.
Yeah, and I have to highlight the curious thing from me, right? Toph, 13 and 16, but 9 assists. When you think of a Jet, you don't think 9 assists. That's huge play from Toph. And while it may not be impacting in the kill feed, it's making the teammates' jobs a heck of a lot easier. So Toph, hats off to you, and quality team play from UW Gold all around. But Steitel, map number 2, it's going to be Bind. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the choice of Waterloo. So Ryerson will be on the defense first, and they are going to have to put up a significant amount of rounds on this defensive half. But we'll see when we come back. Stick around because we are going to take a quick commercial break. Steitel and I need a little bit of water, need to refresh the faces with some, what do you call that, blush, a little makeup here maybe, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be going to map number 2 between Ryerson University and University of Waterloo Golden. Now, Steitel, I was informed that this is known as the Battle for Canada. Both of these teams representing the Great White North in CF1. I mean, we talked about this being a match that's not really for, there's not a ton on the line, but now that I know it's the Battle for Canada, there's some bragging rights here.
I mean, there were bragging rights out the bat. Almost said out the boot, but I stopped myself. I did. Bragging rights out the bat.
I do that.
You say that the stakes aren't that high, but did you forget? Stakes are high here. At least here at the casting desk.
For you.
Stakes are high. Yeah, very high for me. Very hot for me if UW Gold isn't able to take this. But I'm pretty confident in my pick. And I really enjoy the play that we've seen so far. But at the same time, I'm not too confident that UW Gold is going to take this all the way. SHORTYKINGS have shown some really good play and some pretty good sets. There was a little bit of sloppy play, or I wouldn't say sloppy play, opportunistic play that didn't pan out, that came out on that last map. And going into Bind, it changes that dynamic. You no longer have to care about mid. You have A-Long with the portal, and if you do lose that, it's a bit of a sticky situation. But for the most part, you're really able to start setting yourself up on those 2 points to either execute or defend. And I think that SHORTYKINGS has a good amount of structure and strategy to bring to the table. The question is that if UW Gold brings that killjoy back to the table with those defaults and ability to anchor a site on their own, you're going to run into a bit of a wall.
Yeah, and I think the other player that I'm looking out for is Damo, right? We highlighted him last game, and it was round 5 where we were like, all right, Damo's been playing extremely well. Didn't have a frag until he pops off with 1 4K. And then from there, it just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed. So Damo is just super impressive in terms of controlling the map, forcing enemy team where to go and into the traps that UW Gold has set. And some of those traps are for himself even. I mean, there was a couple times where he's just paranoia, charging straight in, treating it like a curveball. So I think if Damo's going to be back on a controller type agent, they're going to be the player to watch in this matchup on Bind. But you highlighted Long A. For me, the place that I'm looking out for is showers. Shower control is going to be so important. Not as important as this hover from Sincere, and it's locked in. Oh, Steitel.
That was quick.
It's locked. Like, that was a confident choice from Sincere.
I mean, and I'm not really surprised to see what we're seeing here. Good friend of ours, Pausable, did a good video on how strong Astra can be on sites like on sites in general, but specifically sites like this where you are going to run into a site that is stacked. There's going to be 3 people on either A or B, pretty much no matter what. So those fake smokes, those immediate gravitons, if you will, that draw players into a central location and make it easier to dish out damage, even in pistol rounds, are going to be absolutely crucial. Because if you're going up against an Astra, and say in this situation, you're looking to push B site, that smoke and graviton comes out just outside of hookah, you're screwed. If somebody aggressively pushes out of hookah, you can't do anything about it if you're stuck in that graviton, and you can't see what's coming at you if there's that smoke. You can't identify what information, how many people, what that push looks like, and so you have to give respect to that and back out.
Yeah, and I think the other issue, not
just like
issue,
this.
but the other thing with Astra is you can fake a smoke, right? Those stars that you place on the ground, you can retrieve them, similar to Cypher Trapwire. Oh, Sincere already getting started with this Astra. Finds one. Not able to find a second as Toph's going to tailwind out of there. So UW Gold with the disadvantage. Star goes out. They're going to do something with it, though. Could this be the Graviton that you're talking about? Nope. Just going to pull it back. Play it safe. I like that play. Toph is on to site, but they know no. Sincere is going huge right now. Finds another kill. Graviton is there. Not going to peek it, though. So interesting choice. Playing the mind games a bit. Alden just popping these shock darts all over the place. Toph able to find one. Damo through a smoke takes down Alden. So the retake is going to have to come in. Site advantage to UW Gold, but they still haven't planted the spike.
Doing a good job of gathering information on where those other two players might be. But the big play for me right now for UW Gold is the Sova and Showers. Hasn't been found out, has been comfortably able to sit there, and is just easily applying casual pressure.
Yeah, just making it that much more difficult. Toph gonna close this one out. And Toph having, I say quietly, I think there's only one frag that we caught on the from the observer, but Toph was just dashing in, out, left, right, and center, wrecking havoc for the Shorty Kings. And Sincere, although they started the round off pretty well, I think we got a sneak peek of what they're looking to do with this Astra, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a, not necessarily a bait and switch, but what I like to call a push and pull, where you're forcing the enemy out of certain sight lines and into the ones that you prefer. So just like this Astra right here, you protect the orb here on B long. The pull is there just in case anybody gets close and the spam damage comes through.
What they couldn't protect, though, is a site because it's wide open, but the spike goes down. A huge 3-player push from the Shorty Kings is going to take down the spike. Now, UW Gold, when they thought they had all the control, that's weapons and control to the Shorty Kings.
And this takes me back to my bronze play in ranked, where Omen grabs the bomb and rushes off to a site on their own and tries to plant it, but gets picked in the process, and now you're trying to retake where the bomb's on the other side of the map. It's really difficult. It's not just a difficult situation. I want to call it unsurmountable, because not only does this put the spike into a location where it's extremely easy for Shorty Kings to cover these angles, because there are so many that Vex has to check out before they can commit to any sort of fight. So it's an uphill battle where I think for UW Gold, Vex, try and pad that economy.
It's certainly winnable, though, unless they run into Kuhai first. Yeah, Kuhai, the only player left on the Shorty Kings with full HP. Gonna take down Vex. I mean, Wody had, what, about 40, 50, 45 HP? I think Alden had 4 after this fight. I mean, that's a huge frag to find. Only one shot there was able to hit Alden, so big round. And just when you think UW Gold was in control and in the driver's seat, are you Shorty Kings? They answer back. They have these upgraded weapons, and this is the bonus round for them, you could say, if you will. They lost the pistol, but still get a bonus. You'll love to see it.
You do, because it doesn't happen that often. However, I like UW Gold's decision here to not really commit too hard to any real weapon buys. It's 1v1. You're still kind of figuring out how Shorty Kings are going to play this. They've brought the Astra into contention, which is something that, you know, you scrimmed against, sure, but it's not really been heavily in the mix for the majority of Valorant play, so still a bit of a Kingdom of Works, if you will. But a good pull from Sincere. However, map awareness from UW Gold, they sat on the edge of that pull, put a little bit of pressure, and baited it out to try and get that utility out of the Astra.
Yeah, they're baiting out a lot of utility, and right now, we talked about earlier in that last map, neither of these teams really finding a flow, and now you can see they're trying to feel each other out, playing a bit more patiently, and I think that's a lot of credit to Bind as a map, right? You can't just run around and do whatever you want like you can on Ascent, because there's that true middle. On a map like Bind, if you're going to commit, you really have to be confident in your shots, because it can make the world of a difference.
30 seconds left.
Speaking about confident in your shots, good job taking out the recon dart, so they only know there's at least one person there. That peek's gonna give a little bit of extra information, but through the wall around the corner, Wody able to find a kill. And Shorty Kings are looking pretty good here. They got one more to deal with.
Whew. Flawless round for the Shorty Kings. Not only did they not have to buy weapons in round number 2 because they were gifted 3 Spectres, they were all just gifted Sheriffs as well. Kuhai, though, gonna take that Spectre and upgrade it into a Phantom. And if Light... Yeah, look at the economy for UW Gold. Because they bought Spectres round 2 and lost, because they then bought Sheriffs and some Shields and lost, they are almost down to no money. They will have about a 2,500 credit loss bonus coming in, but this is the start of something that's not too pleasant. Kuhai trying to do a bit of information gathering on a recon mission. That's some pretty solid information. Know that there's no one A short. They're going to clear out. Hookah is the play and the call from UW Gold, and slow, methodical play. Wodie's got that beautiful glitch pop axe out. You love to see that. These players spending money, hopefully looking to make some if they can take it all the way to the grand finals in the next coming weeks. But Dido, I have to say, I think this is going to be the rotate. They might push back through the teleporter and try and get this spike down at A. I don't see them committing B here.
Now, you've got that early information where the Phoenix didn't get much info through teleporters, so it allows you to kind of gleam about what's happening on A. You put that fake rotation over onto B, you get a little bit of extra strength, but not if you're curveball 1v1v1v1 once again. But it's an even scale coming out of that engagement.
It certainly is. 30 seconds, still plenty of time to work with. They take the teleporter back. They draw the rotations over to A, take the teleporter back. That's going to be a from the shadows from Damo. Back sight, so Spike should get planted, but they don't know Wodie's here, do they?
Spike planted.
Times it perfectly. Wodie gonna get the upgrade. Oh, maybe not. Holds on to the Spectre. Jiggle peek. Doesn't take down one. Damo's going to take Wodie out. But Wodie did a decent amount of damage. Damo's left on 50 HP. So one false move could mean the difference. As Jay, huge blast pack around the corner to take out Damo and lets Alden clean it up. That was a gorgeous blast pack from Jay to draw the fire from the enemy team Jet and then take down Damo. That was gorgeous.
Gorgeous is one way to put it. I feel like hammered in is the way that I'd like to phrase it. Able to, it's not the first time we've seen that kind of double play happen, and it's not the last time we're going to see it happen. It's something it's muscle memory. You flick once, you flick twice, you get yourself a couple of good picks. But SHORTYKINGS right now here on Bind have kind of set a precedent that they weren't able to do on Ascent on this defense, where they're not allowing Gold to gather the information about how they're stacking or how they're rotating or how they're even playing the sites in a fashion that's actually productive to how UW Gold can push.
It certainly would be. One Cypher Cage available for Wodie, I believe, here. We talked about the blast packs. Jay's just going to blast pack their teammates out of the way here. Spike goes down, and again, UW Gold is being punished with their spike carry. That's the second time we've seen them fall in an unadvantageous position. They should allow this spike to go down this time. However, in a gravity well, almost catches Alden just on the outskirt right there. So 4v4 retake incoming for Ryerson University. One player goes into teleporter. Alden just sitting back here. I think they're going to wait for the recon dart. That would be the smart thing to do, but Bax just tackles Alden straight out. Paint shells go out. Showstopper. Can they find something? No, not able to get it through the door. Toph takes down Wodie, and Toph is also going to take down Jay with that Blade Storm. So the ultimate pays dividends for Toph and UW Gold as they finally get this match somewhat back under their control, because the economy is decent. Not looking too crazy, but we're waiting on Light and Ronzi to get going for UW Gold.
And for SHORTYKINGS there, you win that fight if Alden waits a little bit longer. The information that you gather by taking those peeks was good until you took that extra peek that exposes that far right corner and the boxes next to container. Because you clear that initial position, you have to know that they're there. So he goes for the kill, not for the peek, not for information, and gets taken out. So you don't have that recon dart available for the retake. And it kind of causes, it also gives up that spawn position, allows UW Gold to kind of flood into elbow and defender spawn and really outposition what you want to do for your defense.
Yeah, it's It's a tough one right now. Astra is really doing a pretty solid job of controlling the map. That's going to be a fake smoke, so not going to buy a ton of time. Light's going to tag Jay. And let's see. This should be the Hunter's Fury. Yep, there it is. So Hunter's Fury is going to come in for UW Gold. That's going to give them a huge advantage if they can get the spike down. But Kuhai and Jay trying to not let that happen. Damo by themselves, a short, but takes down Kuhai. That's a huge pickup. Light and Rodzi, we talk about them getting going, and they certainly are. Rivaled Hunter's Furies? Yes, the round as Light just takes Alden, deletes him with that Hunter's Fury. That's a tough situation right there if you're Alden S.
Yeah, Alden right now is sitting with the Hunter's Rage. Wasn't able to squeak that one out. Got taken the better of by their counterpart, and for Shorty Kings, it's a kind of a situation where, like I said, UW Gold, they excel when they can gather information, when they can figure out how you want to push, where you feel comfortable, and things like that. And Shorty Kings did a really good job of pushing the envelope and not allowing for UW Gold to assimilate to that. But now, UW Gold's been doing a pretty good job of keeping themselves in the fight by using that information, but you've also got to make sure you're getting those shots.
Steitel, do you know where that hot hands came from? It came through the hole in hookah from Kuhai. Just drops it beautifully right onto the tippy toes of Light, if I'm not mistaken. Or of Light. That was a huge hot hands. Took him down to about 75 HP. So Spike's gonna go down. Cypher Nerdcam in the sky is gonna spot one. Wodie's gonna take out Toph, spray it down. Alden gonna take them out. Damo takes out Alden, but Sincere able to wrap this one up. Sincere sends their sincere regards and closes out the round, giving Are You Shorty Kings round number 4.
And it's still too early in this map to really call who's gonna take the cake. Both teams doing a really good job of situating themselves to the attacks and the defenses. But I want to kind of highlight right now how Are You Shorty Kings are playing their Cypher. Camera often out on A. Cypher traps usually out on B. It looks like this time they're going to put the Cypher to fully to B. And that makes sense. You've shut UW Gold out of A frequently, so expect them to put a little bit of pressure onto B and see if they can't test that.
Yeah, and this is the fight that we wanted to see, right? This control for showers is such a big part, and now we're finally see them taking it. Damo, though, going to just delete Kuhai. Rodzi trying to see if anyone else is going to get overzealous. And that Neural Theft is going to go out. Vex takes down Alden, makes this cross for Sincere super difficult, not able to get it done. Sight control, and I would be willing to bet the round is going to go over to UW Gold after, again, taking control of showers.
Yeah, not only the showers push, but the specific thing about that showers push is that they stayed long enough to realize that it was a fake smoke from the Astra. So the fake smoke from the Astra lets you know that they may not be as heavily prepared to defend this site, and they're not looking to push us out as much as they might in like a really quick execute on the defensive side. So you kind of just remain there. Look for the lurk. The fake smoke goes out. No information is gathered from the fake smoke, so you expect them to push a little bit aggressively through showers. You leave your lurk there. You have 2 members just in case, so you can make sure that the trade goes through and you're able to give yourself an avenue to the point.
Yeah, and credit to Wodie there. Not able to get the round, but did some decent economic damage, taking down 2 players at the end of that round, and it's going to be an expensive one. I mean, look, Rodzi was one of those players that fell. If I'm not mistaken, Light was as well. So Rodzi's only has 200 credits. If they lose this round, it's a reset for them, and they're going to force a teammate to buy up, and UW Gold won't be in the best position, or excuse me, yeah, UW Gold won't be in a great position, but the Shorty Kings, they are struggling to find some money, looking like me as a 13-year-old in the candy shop. Just give me something to work with, please. Sincere gets a headshot on the Vex through the smoke. Just deleted. Very well done. Damo sticks to From the Shadows. Alden knows you're there, but does Damo know Alden's here?
No. I don't think he does. He's not even checking that corner. Oh, nope. Do a little bit of checking. At this point, they've gotten the inclination that there might be somebody in that situation, so going to teleport completely out of view of Alden here in heaven, but definitely communicating to the rest of the group. There might be somebody there. I think I heard some footsteps. Oh, man. Sincere.
Last player standing.
Sincere's going to delete somebody 1 for 1 for 1. Is that how we like to say it around here, Steitel? Oh, the lineups. No way. No way. Tags 1, only sticking it halfway. Recon Bolta gets destroyed. Light takes down 1. Can they tag Kuhai? No, they cannot, as Kuhai is going to win that battle, giving the Shorty Kings their 5th round. But that was... Light has these ridiculous lineups for post-plant situations. That was fantastic.
That's a dart that I'm a Sova player. Not good, but I'm a Sova player. And I have not seen that dart in my YouTube videos that I use yet. Look at that, perfectly placed and still in a position to contest anybody that really wants to go into bats to go after that Sova, because you have so many corners that you can accurately just pretty much hold.
Yeah, and Steitel, remember in round number 8 when we were talking about how Rodzi was one of those players who was punished by the enemy team Cypher? They're using a Spectre right now. So that bit of over-eagerness, that overzealousness that we saw in the end of that round 8 has come back to bite them in the behind. So it's gonna be curious. I'm curious to see if they start to hunt more on saves, or if they're going to realize, hey, sometimes we don't need to go all out for these saves, and let's just back off. Wody taking down top. Vex going to take down Kuhai. 1 for 1 trade in Hookah. Hunter's Fury's going to go out, not finding anyone as Showstopper gets popped. Doesn't do any damage either. So 2 ultimates not able to get anything done. Light, though, gets it done with that Vandal. And oh, unfortunate timing as Wody just looks away. Damo's going to make them pay. Sprays through the Cyphercage, through the smoke. Oh, go ahead.
I love that Alden's being careful here. You know, last time we saw him get a little bit overzealous on this Sova before their teammate was able to position and put themselves into an advantageous spot. And here in post-plant, that's absolutely crucial for the defending team. So this time they're going to be able to put both members into both spawn and elbow. However, that's going to make it more difficult.
It certainly is. Sincere all by themselves, and Sincere joins their teammates in the Nether Realm as Damo is going to take them out. And Steitel, are we going to see another 6-6 half from these teams in the map number 2?
You know, Speezy, we're 24-24. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 6-6 if we're going to be completely honest here. I don't know if it's our vibe that's getting tossed out in the universe and returned here with these two teams, but I mean, they're equally matched. They are equal numbers. They're 7-1 on the records. They both lost to the same team. It's just a matter of who can really fight tooth and nail here at the very end to bring this out. And I think that second half is where it's all fought. These first halves, I think, are going to continue to be 6-6, 7-5, very close halves. The second half is where you really get the ability to kind of break away from the opposing team here.
Yeah, and I think with Ryerson going on the attack in the second half, we are going to see them play at a blistering pace because they like to go quick. As I say that, though, Toff's going to take down Alden and bring us back to reality. Wody takes down 1. A great shot from Sincere is going to pop 1. Oh, Astra in the middle of a fight just goes into the Astral Realm. Not mad about it. Double blast pack from Jay with the Showstopper out is going to force some players back as Vex takes down Sincere with a great paint cannon. Jay, raised diff. Here it is. Both players, full HP. He heard the blast pack. They did, but doesn't know where they are, and Vex just snaps onto Jay's head for the 3K and the round. Huge plays out of Vex right there.
And a difficult situation, Spectre versus Vandal, plus the fact that you're coming onto the site from an angle where you can see a lot of the site, sure, but you can see nothing about where your opponent is going to be coming from or positioning. Whereas for UW Gold, Vex has all the information they need. They've already seen the entire site. When they blast pack up onto those double boxes, they can see heaven, they can see behind U-Haul, they know what's happening at the default plan at those boxes, so they have to be coming from showers. Plus, you already have the information from your teammate that that's where that kill happened.
Right, and
Oh
Kuhai,
no, this is
they
aggressive.
Jay in the air doing. I mean, Jay's playing ace combat right now, soaring through the sky to find Damo, doing some decent damage there, if I'm not mistaken. To Vex, or excuse me, to Toph. Takes him down to 91 HP, 31 shield, so not enough to be lethal just yet. But meanwhile, Wody is just anchoring this B site, not letting anyone through. I don't think the recon drone spots either of those tripwires, but it will spot the... Nope, doesn't spot the camera either. I lied. Yes, it does. Vex, blast pack on the site. Still has a paint can to work with. That's going to go back site. You had to know that's coming. Alden, hold this for me. You're going to eat some serious damage. Spike's going to get planted. Are you going to play around this recon dart that's going to be immediately deleted, but spots two, and Alden with a huge shot through the tin is going to take down one, but Vex answers quickly. The Cosmic Divide has gone out, and the Gravity Well did as well, so Vex stuck between a wall and a hard place, and Wody is going to find the frag. You can't hear this, and I don't know. Oh, yes, it does. Light takes down two with that huge Hunter's Fury. Kuhai gets the frag, takes out Toph. They can... Pros don't fake. What was that angle from Light bouncing it off of two different walls before finally ending Kuhai's reign of terror almost on that site? Steitel, we talk about the 6-6, but advantage, UW Gold. If they can win this pistol, UW Gold is in a premier position to take this map and to take this series away from Ryerson University.
And for the sake of being a good sport, I'm so impressed by what UW Gold's bringing to the table, and I'm so happy that, you know what, win or lose, we'll get a Reaper at the end of the stream.
Wow.
I'm proud. They like for my support for them. We're gonna go ahead and I'm throwing my full support behind them. You know, I threw out that Reaper as an incentive of like, come on, put a fire under your butt, get going, win this match. And now I'm so proud that they're doing it. That's gonna happen either way, if we're being honest. But UW Gold doing a very good job of kind of reading how Shorty Kings like to play these points. And once you kind of read that book, the end of the story gets told. So you're able to predict how they're rotating through these situations. And Shorty Kings right now, you really need to bring an element to the table that UW Gold either hasn't seen or isn't ready for.
And a huge Gravity Well from the Astra there, tags some players but doesn't get anything done. Sincere finds one Alden, 1v3. Can they do it? Has the recon dart out, doesn't matter. Toph shows you straight up, hey, here I am. You can't kill me. Takes down Alden for the 3K. And UW Gold puts round number 8 on the board. Steitel, I don't know what to say. You talked about, you wanted that Carolina Reaper to light a fire under them. I mean, you're both going to have some fires lit under you tonight, but this is a statement that they're trying to make right now to Kieran, to Scotty, to Beanies, to everybody, that UW Gold is to be taken seriously in CF1.
I have this fight.
Not only in CF1, but you're coming out of a region that wasn't deemed the most strong. There are definitely heavy hitters in this East region, but we talked about it with those power rankings about how the other regions have a couple of teams that are a little bit more stacked in the top 3 as far as skill goes. And so for you right now, this is you proving to the Shorty Kings that, okay, fine, you took Miami to an extra map. You took a map off of Miami. Ooh, we're here to play a little better.
Scandalous. No? Don't remember that from recess.
I almost said uwu because it's UW Gold, but I stopped myself.
Well, what wasn't stopped was Damo from taking Jay's face off, and Rodzi gonna take them out. I mean, blistering pace on these holds from UW Gold. They've gambled. Was that a 4-on-1 stack? They're gamble stacking every single time. Look at their default setup. 4 players on A and 1 on B. they must have some sort of read right now on the Shorty Kings, and I intend to find out what it was, win or lose, because it's a huge play, right? Vex is cracked, we know that, but not like tens I can hold a site by myself against 5 other players cracked, and that's what they're giving Vex the responsibility to do right now.
However, Vex is playing an agent where you can gather information while posing a threat with that raise. So you get a little bit of extra availability there. And Shorty Kings have been pretty slow on their B pushes. They haven't really pushed that site too confidently. They've been extremely temperistic about how they go about that site. So you put the raise there, you're able to get a lot of easy information, and then the rest of your team with rotation can get the retake because you've been able to retake most of the game. So you're not too scared about them planting.
Yeah, and Vex, not going to be able to hold the site as they are going to give this one up and wait for the teammates to play retake. But Paint Can is lined up for a default plant, you'd imagine here. Vex, this is a huge one. Does some damage to Alden. So going to dissuade them from getting any more aggressive. Vex takes out another player. What is going on right now? Light through the wall. Alden, though, not playing any more games. Shuts down Vex and shuts down Light as well. Sova diff in chat. Can they get this one? Yes. 3rd kill from Alden. Give him the 4K, why don't you? Rodzi shuts it down, but Wody gonna take them down to stop the momentum of UW Gold and put Ryerson back on the map.
You're talking about Alden, but you're not talking about all those kills that they're bringing in. I mean, they're they're hitting just left and right. I mean, most of those were first bullet headshot, easy. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean the crosshair placement from Alden was beautiful right there. All they had to do was mouse 1. There's no need to even move the mouse. No flick of the wrist, nothing. So let's see if they can carry that same kind of momentum into this one or not. Sincere gets us started off early on Toph. And I think that's going to be the run it back popped. Again, the gamble stack from Ryerson, just leaving one player on this B site. But Vex finds a frag, not able to find the one that matters because Sincere had the spike. If they can find that, that's the same situation we saw in round number 3. But these lineups, 13 HP left on Sincere. Cosmic Divide is ready. So, will we see a play with Cosmic Divide come out? Recon drone, going to see if we can spot one. Alden's going to shoot that down immediately. If you're UW Gold, you do have the utility. You don't have the utility to go for this, but you do have enough rounds to play with where you could save. But, as we say, that Light's going to take down one player. Alden, Recon Dart. Oh, and the Hunter's Fury playing off site, not able to find anything. Players are going down. Shit, Alden tries to push Damo, Damo tried to push Alden, didn't get it done. Ryerson answers back again. So, Steitel, economy-wise, Ryerson's in a pretty decent spot. UW Gold, however, not so hot. They will be on upgraded pistols this round, and ultimate economy, everybody, except for Rodzi, 1 away. So I really think they are going to have to fight long and fight showers for these ultimate orbs. Toph, you want to see if they can get that Blade Storm in hand. You see the heavy shields. That's my bet. They're playing around this Blade Storm.
That's exactly what's about to happen. A beautiful job by Damo to make sure that Recon Dart can't tell how many people here defending on A. But for Shorty Kings on this attack, you send out that Astra Smoke on B long. Got to be able to read that. Good trade, but you want to be having a 5-man team when going into that equation, and there's information gathered by the Jet there.
There certainly is, and information gathering all around is RU Shorty Kings, because they are just flipping the script right now. We talked about the gamble stack from UW Gold, 4 players on this A site. They didn't do it this round, and this is the first time we've seen Ryerson push this A site, so Vex gonna go for it? Maybe? Question mark? 2 players in lamps. Just kind of chilling, vibing out, Good music over there. Crew High and Wody in showers. So, Will they be able to get this? Oh, Vex gets across, but I think gets spotted. Yeah, Kuhai's going to make the call to their teammate. One tap. Not able to recreate the magic. It was a pretty one, though. We'll take that. Put it on the highlight reel, but don't show anybody the subsequent next couple of seconds. So, Ryerson coming right back with 3 rounds of their own. Oh, boy. Steidl, you see it.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Yep. UW Gold is not looking to take any chances on this next round. They're giving Tough the, I'm sorry, you pronounced it, the boomstick. And, you know, Tough's kind of the rock of this composition right now.
Yeah, it's all going to rely on if Toph can hit these shots. Because if Toph goes A long, B long, there's no one there. 5,000 credits, it's not easy to retake with an operator. I can tell you, as a one-trick op jet player myself, it's not the easiest thing in the world. It happens once in a blue moon for me. And at this kind of level, you miss that first shot, and teams are going to make you pay. So Toph needs to be on point with this one. We are going to see attack pause come out, though, and smart play, as Ryerson was starting to get some momentum going. So, Steidl, I have to ask, if you're UW Gold, do you agree with this call? If you're the coach of UW Gold, do you agree with this call to give Toph light shields, zoom banger, or stick them onto the rifle and just not destroy their economy like this if you lose?
Here.
I'm okay with the operator choice. What I'm not okay with is them stacking the sites in the fashion that they have. If you have the operator on A, put one person there to kind of anchor it. But other than that, spend the rest of your ability over there on B. For this specific reason. They now know that the operator is on A. So there's no real reason to push that unless you know that you can affect the sight lines and effectively push into that operator.
Oh, and look at the
So doing this for Shorty
right
Kings,
now.
this is a power play.
Just barely missing the shoulder, and a huge pick from Rodzi finds the spike. The rotation's coming in. Can they get another? Yes, they can. They grab the spike to the Shorty Kings and rotate, but Vex has never left. Vex is on deck waiting for the push. Neural Theft going to go out and expose the players of the Shorty Kings, and so far, the operator choice looking like it paid off in dividends. RU Shorty Kings have a tough decision to make, but Wody takes down Vex, and that should signal the go button. They don't know how many other players are on this site. Neural Theft is going to go out, and that's going to give them an inkling of how many players are left on site. But Hunter's Fury for light. Can they get something done? No, they're going to let him have it.
This is
Cosmic
a rough
Divide?
play. You've seen a lot of members of Shorty Kings go into that elbow, and with the Cosmic Divide just barely giving a little bit of room, there's an extra little inkling that Gold might be able to take the wall placed just perfectly.
Are you kidding me?
So close.
What a wall from Sincere. Just Rodzi exposes them, though. And Kuhai not able to get it done. Both players are back stuck in elbow. If Toph can stick this to halfway, that's going to be huge. Kuhai takes down Rodzi. Toph does stick it to halfway, and Damo on cleanup duty finds 2. I don't know if you saw Steidl. They are going to retrieve the operator as well, so very well done from UW Gold. But we talk about that Cosmic Divide playing a huge role in that round. Damo TP'd from CT spawn, or excuse me, from Defender spawn over onto B long. That's what allowed them to get that flank and attack from the separate positions. So great heads-up play by Damo and getting a significant payoff for that ultimate from the shadows.
And an ultimate where, at this level of play, 9 times out of 10, that ultimate's just used for information. Teleporting to an obvious point that has a lot of visual sight lines and figure out, who's on point, what information can I gather about where people are positioned before I teleport back to my team kind of situation. So to see that used actively and effectively, very refreshing.
It certainly was refreshing, like a nice op shot. Toph, can you give it to us? Staying extremely patient, and we haven't seen this too much from Ryerson, this slow, methodical play. They aren't doing a whole lot of information gathering, but those players from UW Gold on B will be getting some information done. Run it back, gets destroyed immediately by Ronzi on that crossfire. Toph gets caged off, walled off, everything off. Jay, Toph takes down one though. Gonna get, no? Jay looked away because he was sure that showstopper hit, and then Damo just goes off with a 3K. That's gonna be round number 11. They're gonna retrieve the operator. That has to be the case, right? Jay thought that they had the op player dead to rights with that showstopper, looked away. What was that? My brain hurts, Title. Break it down.
UW Gold having a little bit of fun with the defuse here. Who's gonna get the ult orb? Is it Light? Yes, it is. They're gonna be able to take that, and that last play. It looks like it's fun in games, but it's actually important. The mental game of Valorant is in play right now. If you're RU Shorty Kings, you're down on the map, you're down on the scoreboard, the pressure is on, and a little bit of extra BM thrown in there. If you're UW Gold and you can tilt one or two players or cause that mental game to go a little bit askew, it's going to put you into that upper hand, and you're already sitting on the upper ledge. You have that high ground.
They certainly do. And speaking of tilting, Sincere is going to be on Bucky duty. Oh, but a huge gravity well, excuse me, I've been playing too much Overwatch, is going to tag Toph, the Widowmaker here. Or Jet finds one, that's Spike. That's huge information. Not able to tag the second, but Light, what? Light takes down huge, 2 players, 3 players. Can they make it 4? 1 potato, 2 potato. Alden might be on the floor. That's the case. 4K for Light and map point for UW Gold.
Why is this such a misnomer? Light should be called heavy. Like you can't make your name Light and then throw your team in the backpack for a round. That's a heavy situation. You gotta rename yourself there, buddy. I mean, what is happening? Not only those first 2 shots down in B long, which were not headshots, those were body shots. So beautiful job taking advantage of the pressure that Toph was putting on with that operator on B long, but then whips around with the flick onto a blast packing raise.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Toph gonna burn in the fire and burn from Kuhai's bullets to the face. Blaze Wall gonna go out. Are they gonna push this? Yes, they are. Location of Ronzi has been revealed, and this is the Shorty Kings that we're used to, right? That explosive team that just gets onto site and leaves nothing to the imagination of the enemy team. All 5 are here. You gotta know that. Again, when you're playing against Ryerson and Spike gets planted. So they are aware that there is a flank. Vex may have just timed it perfectly. Makes it across. And Wody gets tagged. Vex is going to go for this guaranteed kill onto Wody, who's still on Bucky duty, if I'm not mistaken. But meanwhile, Sincere doing work from this lamp position. Oh, the spray. They heard the spray. There's 4 players in lamps right now.
In a rough situation for Damo. The swing was going to be there. The trade going to be there as well. And a good effort from Vex, but they know he's coming from Bass. It's a difficult situation to walk into, but are you Shorty Kings going to keep themselves alive here? 3 more rounds, and they push us to overtime.
Yes, it is certainly an uphill battle, but not one that is impossible for the Shorty Kings. And the interesting thing to note right there, Steitel, no one picked up Toph's operator, and they can't reinvest in it. So no Zoom banger in play. As I say that, excuse me, Toph makes me eat my words.
Here.
This is how you tilt someone. If Toph peeks down hookah or peeks middle and gets this is huge. Got it. Check mark. That's right there is what we wanted to see from Toph all game long, making them pay. And Steitel, it is a very difficult round now for the Shorty Kings. Player down, if I'm not mistaken. They had a showstopper on that raise as well. Rodzi tucked into the corner here, not going to get spotted. Cosmic Divide is out. They can't tell Spike's going down until they get the official plant notification. There it is. Nerd Cam in the sky, though. Tags a player. Kuhai and going to take out Toph. So 4v3 situation. Make it a 3v3. What? Alden and Wody just going nutty over on the Showers position. Damo gonna put down the dark cover. There's 3 players to find for Light and Damo. Can they find some light in the darkness? Looking to work their way through lamps. Kuhai gonna take down Damo, and Steitel, I have to eat my words. Just when I thought Toph found that opening pick was gonna be almost guaranteeing the round, the Shorty Kings answer and show why they have the crown in terms of the rankings for this East region.
And that early kill onto Jay, a bit of a blessing in disguise. Because now you come into this situation where you have that showstopper for an entry, and then if you're able to get that plant down, you have the Hunter's Fury for the post plant. So you're in a pretty good situation if you're Shorty Kings. Not to mention, you're gonna have that neural net online within a round or two.
Okay.
And UW Gold forced this round, so they have to win this now. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, we have some Buckies, possibly a Shorty, some Sheriffs, upgraded and making them pay. Not able to find the kills. Vex, does take down Kuhai, but not before getting killed by Kuhai. So Rodzi hiding out in the tin here. Oh, just gotta time this one perfectly. Gets one. Doesn't get the planter. How do you miss? Rodzi, when it all thought it was lining up for him, not able to get it done. Light, though, the player to watch here. 2v1 situation. How's your timing? It's fantastic. Light takes down Wody. It's Light v Jay for the map. Phantom v Sheriff and Jay. Got picked off earlier in that last round, but the last player standing.
There.
It is match point number 3 for the Shorty. Excuse me, match point number 4 for the Shorty Kings, or for UW Gold. And the Shorty Kings are looking to go to OT. Everyone is invested in this round. Damo. Okay. I thought they were going to possibly buy the operator for Toph, but decide against it. So it's interesting. We have 5 Vandals on the side of UW Gold and 4 Phantoms for the Shorty Kings. I'd be curious to know why no one on UW Gold runs the Phantom, but nonetheless, that is not what we're here to talk about. We are here to get this round into overtime, or can UW Gold send the Shorty Kings home packing? Alden getting a ton of information, clearing out lamps. Jay with the spike. If Jay gets popped here, that's the round. This is huge for defense. Not able to get it done. Damo and Light find a tag. Yeah, huge read right there. Oh. Alden, what? The random showers ulti? Couldn't have been random. They had to know there was a player there. Can they get this done? The spike was able to be planted as Rodzi takes down Sincere. Neural theft out. Taps the spike. Jay gets out. Jay has 18 HP. A hope, a dream, and a prayer is not going to do it. Beanies, Kiernan, and Scotty, they need to take a look at those rankings again. I mean, you might play, because UW Gold has just taken down the Shorty Kings. Steidel, color me shocked. I had Ryerson from the get-go on this one, but UW Gold went huge these 2 maps.
Yeah, UW Gold went pretty huge. They were pretty hot, pretty spicy, if you will, on their win there at the very end. And, I mean, for me, we talked about this a little bit earlier. I had that talking point about how Shorty Kings, when they faced Miami, they took it to a 2-1. They were able to take a map. They pushed into triple overtime on the final map, and UW Gold had a little bit of difficulty and lost both maps. Not necessarily handedly, but it wasn't a huge, like, it wasn't one of those maps where the score line doesn't meet the map scores. Everything kind of lined up. So UW Gold, definitely the underdog coming into this, but I don't know. I don't think RU was ready. UW Gold's done a really good job of not only scouting their opponents throughout, the first split here at CF1, but the adaptation is absolutely crucial, and that's one thing that they continue to do. Whether it was RU pushing quickly into a site or slowly gathering information, and then there was that one small situation there on Bind where RU figured out that UW Gold was playing these hard commits, and they were putting 4-1 on points, and they got 2 rounds out of it before UW Gold went, okay, let's put another person over on B. Let's switch up what our anchor is over here on A and throw things into a bit of disarray, if you will. And it just didn't connect for RU.
Yeah, it certainly did not. And you see the scoreboard here, Kuhai, the only player on the side of RU to go positive. But if you look at it, again, Scheidel, we talked about who the player to watch is for UW, and Damo, top of the scoreboard again, 7 plants. That's huge. not too many assists, but hey, when you're fragging out like that, +7 in terms of KD, we'll take those. So, folks, we'll also take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have a player from UW Gold, and we will see Steidl eat a Carolina Reaper. So you won't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned, and we will be right back. Welcome back, gamers. We are joined by the one, the only Rodzi of UW Gold. Rodzi, how you feeling after that big victory?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. I was inting a little bit, but my team's good. They carry me. It's all good. We get the W. It feels good.
Hey, you're on Cypher duty. They're supposed to carry you. You just feed them the intel and call the shots. Now, I want to ask you, Rodzi, coming into the matchup, right? This is the battle for Canada. Both UW and Ryerson are fighting for that second spot. Did you have a point to prove, or knowing that you're locked in for the second split already, you kind of just, hey, let's just play our game and it'll figure itself out?
Honestly, we did have a point to prove. Like, the screenshots of the power rankings, it goes on our Discord, like, every time they come out, and we're like, it's so cringe we're not on there. So, yeah, it feels good to beat someone who's on there. I feel like we should be on there. I feel like we should be on everyone's power ranking. So, yeah, but I mean, I think Ryerson's super good. So, we just really wanted to win. Like, I wasn't sure what the roster is going to be coming in. And then Dame was like, oh, yeah, Kuai's playing, and Vex is like, shaking, dude. Damo's got the clip. Vex is so scared. Like, that guy's cracked. But yeah, I mean, getting the W feels super good. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys got that W, and I wanted to talk about your first map just a little bit because often when it comes to Ascent, teams really hard focus on mid control. And on y'all's defense, it didn't seem like it was as much of a priority as it was for other teams. You were pretty excited about the retake and planned for it across both maps, but for Ascent, that's a strange strategy to bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, we focus pretty hard on a retake on most maps. So I think like Ascent, it just works pretty well because like, it's so, I mean, it's kind of weird to say it's so central, but like mid's like really accessible through a short, and we kind of like put pressure towards a main. So I think we like to run plays more towards the sides of the map and then retake the middle instead of vice versa.
Well, it obviously worked out. And speaking of that kind of play, which obviously requires adaptive shot calling, is, you know, what happens in the middle and the sides of the map can differ from round to round. But when it came to that second map, you guys had a really strong showing of that adaptiveness that your team can bring to the table, the improv, if you will, where you're picking up what the enemy's putting down and kind of just returning it in favor. So tell me a little bit about what happens behind the scenes for that improv to show itself.
Yeah, I mean, especially on Bind, it like was pretty clear, like we weren't expecting to see an Astra, and then they pulled the Astra out. So I don't think we've even scrimmed against it, like, and we've probably tried it a few times. So we were like trying to adapt on the fly to like their shower take, at least for me, was like the big thing, because I'm only on the A side of the map. I don't know what's happening on B, but like their shower take for us was like the big thing. Like, we kept trying to like, maybe we can get Toph in the corner, Damo focuses the arrow, and then we can get a pick. You know, we ran like the play where Damo flashed and Toph dashed in. Like, we're trying to, you know, adapt on the fly, especially to the Astra, because we're trying to, you know, move around the like suck thing, you know.
Yeah.
The gravity well, it is certainly a nightmare to deal with. And, you know, Rodzi, you talk about the adaptation on the fly mentality that you guys kind of have. I was going to ask you guys what led to that 4-1 stack on Bind. You left Vex on an absolute island on that B site. Is that something you guys have practiced, or again, was that just the adaptation, knowing that you have to fight every round for showers? This is what we needed to do.
Yeah, I don't think it was something we practiced. Like, we definitely were trying really hard to get showers control, like really, really hard. And Vex was like on something today. So like, if he's over on the B site and he can get one, like if he just plays his life, he gets one, maybe two, like it's perfect. Like if we play in shower, maybe we get some guns. I don't even remember if it was like an eco round or something. But like, if we get showers control, take that side of the map, and Vex gets one over there, like I said before, we play really strong on the retake, and then we're pretty confident going to that site.
Absolutely, because I mean, we saw you guys do it a couple of times. We also saw you with a little highlight reel clip, something for the Twitter. You know, that little 3K with the Bucky. How'd that one feel?
The Bucky.
Nerf the Bucky. That's all I have to say. Nerf the Bucky. the guns
Here
down.
it is.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
here we go.
Oh, look at that beautiful shot. Oh man,
Yeah.
Alden, can I get the kill? No, Rodsy's there with the Bucky. You're not gonna be able to walk away with that.
I'm so sad. The
gotta
one
know
clip
better.
for Twitter's with the Bucky. I'm so sad. It should have been.
Are you
Advantage
really
4K
though?
or
I feel
something.
like that's one of
We
those
take
I'm
those.
so sad.
I mean, it's good
You're still
content.
going to
I'll
post
take
it,
the
though, aren't
content.
you?
Oh yeah, I'll take the
At
content.
R0DZY. Give it a follow.
sir.
Give that like when the tweet comes out. Rodzi, I appreciate you joining us tonight. Before you go, I know you want to see this just as much as I do. Steitel
Oh, really?
has promised to eat a
We're doing this
Carolina
now?
Reaper. So before we
We're doing this
end the
now?
interview, before we let you say your goodbyes, we want it to soak in a little bit. Steitel, can we get a bite at least, or are you taking the whole thing? Oh,
Whole thing.
that's for UW.
Let's go.
UW Gold. He had the utmost faith in you guys. Much respect,
I got sour
Steitel, man
cream.
of his
I got
word.
milk. I'm not feeling any pain right now. It's not why I'm bouncing. It's not what's happening right now.
Oh, well, we love it, Steitel. Rodzi, congratulations on the victory tonight. Anyone you want to give a thank you to over Steitel dying?
Not
Yeah.
gonna fight.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I guess shout out all my friends in chat. Shout out the UW guys. Shout out all my teammates. They're nuts. Shout out Riot for not nerfing the Bucky yet. And yeah, I don't know. At everyone who makes the power rankings, put us on your power rankings. We should be there.
Shots fired. Kieran, Kenny, and Scott. Be on a lookout. UW Gold's coming for the crown. They should at least, in my opinion, you got to have that conversation top 6. At least. So,
At least.
with that being said, Rodzi, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Folks, make sure you're subbed to the channel. We do have some sub incentives in Knife Show Match, but the one I want to see, 225 subs. Scotty, our CF1 admin, will do a cosplay as Jet. And I know Scotty just got a haircut, but I think that would mean he'd have to dye his hair white, have to put on a nice little outfit. So that's something I want to see. I'm definitely subbed to the channel already. So if you don't, make sure you do. Tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken, there will be another game. So we will see you here again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central. Don't go anywhere but here for CF1 action. So, gamers, we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you tomorrow. I don't know if we'll see Steitel, but
I'm not crying.
long.
You're crying.
Good night, everyone. Take care.